10 common mistakes you should avoid. Welcome to Potencia Speak. This is Felipe Santos, and I want to guide you through this lesson that will help you with things that you should avoid, mistakes that you should avoid while learning English. They are pretty common. Not only non-native speakers can end up making those mistakes, also Americans sometimes will make those mistakes, Europeans, but we need to talk about them with low pressure, and also at the same time a lot of expectation about it. Okay, don't feel pressured, feel inspired, feel guided through knowledge in English. Common mistakes you should avoid. I'm going to talk to you about 10. First, incorrect order of adjectives. Second, false cognates or false friends. Third, omission of subject in sentences. Fourth, confusion between do and make. Fifth, incorrect use of much versus many. Sixth, confusion between then and then. Seventh, inappropriate use of articles a and the. Eighth, confusion with prepositions on, in, at. 9. Errors with the use of gerund, ing, and infinitive. And 10th, last but not least, incorrect use of will and going to express future. Okay, on each one of them, so common mistakes you should avoid. On each mistake, I'm gonna highlight 3 pillars: a difficulty, what the difficulty is about, examples, and a hint. You know, a hint, a recommendation, a tip. Okay, so first, incorrect order of adjectives. What's the difficulty here, guys? Placing adjectives in the correct order before nouns, which is often different from Portuguese, for example. Example 1. I bought a leather brown beautiful jacket. That's incorrect. What's the correct? I bought a beautiful brown leather jacket. Example 2. She has a Chinese old small vase. Incorrect. What's the correct? She has a small old Chinese vase. Example 3. He drives a German expensive new car. Incorrect. What's the correct? He drives an expensive new German car. Okay? And you can use the correct examples as a repetition to practice speaking during your studies with the planner we give you. All right? What's the hint here, guys? Remember the general order. It's called os comp. Opinion, size, age, shape, color, origin, material, purpose, and it's usually the opposite of Portuguese. Belo, carro bonito, carro belo will be beautiful car. So beautiful comes before car. Carro bonito, first car, then pretty. In English, you do the opposite, okay? You need to invert them. Second mistake you should avoid: the false cognates or false friends. What's the difficulty here? Words that look similar in Portuguese and English but have different meanings, okay? False friends because they look similar but are not. Example 1. Actually doesn't mean atualmente. It means currently. It means what we have in Portuguese, na verdade, in fact. So actually is not currently, but in fact. For example, someone would say, Felipe doesn't like pizza. I'm like, what? No. Actually, I do love pizza. In fact, I like pizza. Example 2. Pretend doesn't mean pretender or intend, but it means feign or fingir or fake it. Third, example 3. Push doesn't mean puxar, which is pull in English. Push means to empurrar in Portuguese. And it's weird because you read at a door saying push, and you go ahead and try to puxar, but it actually means empurrar. This is very funny. Even Brazilians that live abroad for decades sometimes can get confused about it. What's the hint? Create a personal list of false cognates as you encounter them and review it regularly. Using our planner, you'll see activities like this, right? So this is a hint that goes really well with the planner that you have here with Potencia Speak. Third, omission of subject in sentences. What's the difficulty? The tendency to omit the subject due to Portuguese influence, where the subject is often implied. In English, the subject is rarely omitted. Example 1, is raining. Incorrect. It is raining. Correct. Example 2, seems that the party was fun. That's incorrect. It seems that the party was fun. It seems, correct? Example 3. In the book says that. That's incorrect. The book says that. That's the correct. So hint, always include a subject in English sentences. If there's no clear subject, use it or there as a placeholder. 4. Confusion between do and make. What's the difficulty? Both can be translated as fazer in Portuguese. They have the same meaning in Portuguese, but they have distinct uses in English. Example 1, I did my homework. That's correct. What's the incorrect? I made my homework. Example 2, she makes delicious cakes versus she does delicious cakes. Correct? She makes delicious cakes. Example 3, let's do exercise. Correct. Versus let's make exercise. And even better, you can say let's exercise. Example 4, I'm creating example 4 here. Let's exercise. Hint, generally use make for creating or producing something and do for action and tasks. Okay? So make, you'll have a final product, right? Do is for an action that doesn't produce something visible. 5th, the incorrect use of much versus many happens a lot. Can even happen with Americans that are native speakers. Difficulty, confusion when using much with uncountable nouns and many with countable nouns. Example 1, I don't have many money. That's incorrect. I don't have much money. That's correct. Example 2, there isn't much people here. Incorrect. There aren't many people here. Correct. Example 3, how much books do you have? Incorrect. How many books do you have? Correct. So the hint is associate much with things you can count individually, like water, time, and many with things you can count. So much with things you can't count, like 2 waters, 3 waters. No, water measure in liters, right? Many you will use with countable things, Apple, cars. So, for example, I don't have much money. So, one money, two money, three money? No, money is counted in reais, dollars, euros, right? Bitcoins. There aren't many people, so people you can count, right? One person, 10 people, 20 people, 100 people. And books, many. You can count one book, two books, three books. You don't need a measure to count books. You count the books. Books are countable. Okay, so this is mistake number 5. You're learning and you're going to avoid. The cool thing is, when you learn, even if you make a mistake, you notice the mistake by yourself. You're like, oh, I just made a mistake. That happens with me. 6, confusion between then and then. Sometimes they're pronounced equally, almost equally, very similar, but the meaning is different. This is more of a mistake you should avoid typing or writing, okay? Difficulty. These words sound similar, and their usage can be confusing for non-native speakers. Us. This is us. It's the name of a streaming series. This is us, right? Example 1. I would rather stay home than go out. Incorrect. It's not then with E. It's then with A. I would rather stay home than go out. Correct. Example 2. He's taller than his brother. Incorrect. He's taller than his brother with an A. Example 3. We'll go to the movies and then have dinner. Incorrect. Correct. We'll go to the movies and then have dinner. So hint. Remember that then with an A is used for comparisons. This, then, that. While then is related to time, sequence, or a consequence of events. Then with an E. Okay? Alrighty. 7. The inappropriate use of articles, a and the. Haha. Difficulty. Portuguese uses articles differently from English. Example 1. The life is beautiful. I've seen people making this mistake. Oh, the life is beautiful. No. In English, the correct is life is beautiful without the or the. Example 2. I'm student. Incorrect. I am a student or I'm a student. I'm giving you 2 pronunciations. Example 3. An university. That's incorrect. A university. That's correct. Especially because we will use A for things that start with a consonant, N for things that start with a vowel. But in this case, it breaks the rule. Crazy, right? Hint. Use the or the for specific things. A, N for general things. And no articles for abstract concepts. This you will dominate. You'll master this based on usage. The more you listen, speak, write, read, more comfortable you will feel with it. All right. 8th, confusion with prepositions on, in, at. Let's look at it. Difficulty. Many languages have different rules for prepositions, causing confusion. Example 1. I arrived in the airport. Incorrect. What's the correct? I arrived at the airport. Example 2. The movie starts in 7 p.m. The movie starts at 7 p.m. Correct. I'm on vacation in Paris. Now it switched. That's correct. What's the incorrect? I'm in vacation at Paris. So the hint is associate in with three-dimensional spaces like in Paris, on with surfaces like online, like we say. I'm on the bridge, and at with specific points at the airport. Again, even though there's a hint, you'll get used to it with experience. So don't stop studying and practicing. 9. Errors with the use of gerund, ing, and infinitive. The difficulty. Some verbs are followed by gerund, others by infinitive, and some accept both. Example 1. I enjoy to play soccer. I enjoy playing soccer. 2. She suggested to go to the beach. That's incorrect. She suggested going to the beach. Example 3. I want eating pizza. No, now it is applied in the wrong way. I want to eat pizza. That's correct. So the hint is memorize the most common verbs and their structures, like enjoy plus gerund, want plus infinitive. I enjoy eating. I want to eat. I enjoy running. I want to run. 10. We arrived at our last station for this lesson. Incorrect use of will and going to express future. Difficulty. Both express future but have distinct uses that aren't always obvious. Example 1. I will visit my grandmother this weekend. That's a spontaneous decision. You know what? I'm going to visit my family. You know what? I'm going to visit my friend. So you can say, I will visit my grandma for this weekend as a decision that I make spontaneously. I will visit my friend today. You know what? I will call him. You know what? I will talk to him. Example 2. I'm going to visit my grandmother this weekend. So that points to a prior plan. So let me get this rearranged for you. I will means a decision I'm making as I speak. Okay? Easier this way. I'm going to points out to something I have planned ahead. I'm going to visit my friend this weekend. I'm going to Italy this September. Something like this. Example 3. Look at those clouds. It's going to rain. It's a prediction based on evidence. Look at those clouds. It's going to rain. So I can say it will rain next week. Something that I just figured out. It will rain next week. It is going to rain next week. I knew this beforehand. Hint. Use going to for plans and predictions, and will for spontaneous decisions and promises. Okay? So, you have 10 mistakes you can avoid. They are incorrect order of adjectives, false cognates or false friends, omission of subject in sentences, confusion between do and make, incorrect use of much and many, confusion between then and then, inappropriate use of articles a and the, confusion with prepositions on and at, errors with the use of gerund, ing, and infinitive, when to use, and 10, incorrect use of will and going to express future. All right, so now I want to share app of the week per Perplexity. This is considered the new Google in the age of AI. And this can help you study, learn, work, present, research, gather information. Perplexity AI is a website that you can access throughout this QR code right here. It takes you to Perplexity, okay? This is not only useful to study English, to research. You can do academic research, formal scientific research here as well as you filter. This will help you at your job, with demands you have, studying, and so on, so forth. All right? GPT of the week. Yelt's writing for English and language learning. IELTS is a standard of assessment and testing recognized by more than 10,000 organizations in the world. So it's good to have now, with the age of AI, with the era of AI, a way to write, learn, read based on a IELTS training chatbot. Okay? And this QR code will take you there. I want to thank you for investing this time with us, learning about 10 common mistakes you should avoid. Don't worry if you make mistakes again. Make sure you learn what they are. Sometimes listening to other people, you may catch a mistake somebody made. All right? I hope to see you again here at Potencia Speak. Continue learning English smartly.